So, I got some news on the PS5 Pro, and, treat this as a rumor. Actually, the funny thing is, you have to treat the PS5 Pro itself as a rumor at this particular point, but it looks like we could be looking at a delay for that, and, yeah, that's pretty significant if that's indeed the case. So, what's up, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly appreciate it. Now, just real quick, I want to point out, like I said, the PS5 Pro in and of itself is something that is completely rumor and speculative at this point, even though there have been leaks and things like that. Nothing is official until, something happens, for for real from these companies. So yeah, we have to keep that in a specific mindset going forward. But anyway, it looks like the PS5 Pro might not release in 2024, according to Tom Henderson, who I think he was one of the first ones to actually announce and kind of let us know that there was a PS5 Pro. So that's very interesting. Sony's rumored upgraded PS5 Pro model might very well not release later this year. At least that's what reputable leaker Tom Henderson appears to have been suggesting on X a little bit ago. When asked about a possible September announcement for the long-rumored PS5 Pro model, he said, and I quote, "If it releases this year." While this doesn't directly confirm that the PS5 Pro model won't be releasing this year, heck, Sony hasn't even commented on its existence yet. This reply is somewhat interesting, as Henderson has long been saying that Sony is planning a holiday 2024 release for the PS5 Pro model. Back in March of 2023, Henderson said that Sony was working on a PS5 hardware revision with release sometime in late 2024. Several months later, in July 2023, Henderson talked about the codename of the PS5 Pro model, which is Trinity, with a planned release date in November of 24. Whether or not a PlayStation 5 Pro console is desired enough to the current market remains to be seen, but as of now, the PS5 Pro is in development and is targeting a November 2024 release, he wrote back then. Some months ago, though, Henderson again talked about the Pro model, saying then that leaked specs of the console were the real deal. In addition, he said that Sony still appeared to be targeting a holiday 2024 launch for the beefed up PS5 console. Now, the question is whether internal plans at Sony have changed or not. It kind of remains to be seen, but obviously, if something comes up, I'll make sure you guys know about it, of course. Here's basically what we know in terms of what the PS5 Pro should be. Larger GPU with faster memory, providing 45% improved performance in rendering. Massively improved ray tracing architecture that should deliver 2 to 3 times the speed up over the regular PS5 with peaks of 4 times as much. Custom machine learning architecture that supports 300 TOPS. The architecture was built to enable the so-called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR, upscaling technique. The leaked documents described it as Sony's version of multi-frame resolution based on the PlayStation machine learning algorithm. According to the leak, PSSR currently supports up to 4K, but there are plans to add 8K support later. PSSR is a enhanced version of temporal anti-aliasing upscaling, that requires similar inputs to NVIDIA DLSS and AMD FreeSync, and fully supports high dynamic range pipelines. Moreover, no per-game training is required, just like with the latest version of DLSS. The document goes on to say PSSR requires just 250 megabytes of the PS5 Pro's memory, with a current rendering cost of 2 milliseconds to upscale from Full HD to 4K, although optimization is still ongoing. The document also includes an image comparison with TAAU and AMD FSR2, reportedly showing PSSR offers superior image quality. So that's very interesting. Again, so delaying this. Now, we've heard different rumors that this thing has actually been ready to go since like last year sometime. So it is very strange to me that we haven't seen more, unless like Sony is just hoping to kind of launch it with, something like a Grand Theft Auto 6 or, something of their own. I think when you do launch consoles, it is smart to launch with things, but it's like, I also think just having a console that can, play certain things better would be of benefit. So, again, we'll see if that's something that actually works out or not. But I think it's very interesting to see that this thing might not come out this year. Like, especially given the fact that a lot of the trends for consoles and hardware sales are down across the board. For PlayStation 5, for Xbox, obviously, is perpetually down, and then even Switch, of course, in like year 8 or whatever. But, again, the damage is done because like the Switch and stuff have already sold pretty tremendously well. And I thought anyway that the PS5 Pro would come out this year and absolutely like smoke everything. To be honest with you, I thought that thing would come out. I understand that people need games for these things or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to kind of cast doubt on that. The thing that I'm saying is that for me anyway, I thought that it would come out and just be enough to sell it on its own. I mean, if you think about it, the PS4 Pro launched. I don't think there was anything specifically great that launched with it that year. It was mostly just updated stuff. So there's that. And then I think the Xbox One X, the only game that really launched from Microsoft with that was the the Forza Motorsport 7 game, which again, woohoo, right? A racing game. But again, I'm sure that there's a lot of games that will be updated to support this, so we'll kind of see how that works out. For me, like I said, it's just one of those things where I am a little bit surprised by the news, and it's just one of those things where I'm just not sure 100%, other than this could be something that Sony is having to kind of wait on. So obviously a lot of people have been wondering about the PS5 Pro for years. Nothing's official until it's actually revealed. I've mentioned that multiple times, and with that yet to happen, as we head towards the next month, questions are starting to be asked about the console's release. Obviously, like Tom Henderson, he was the one that announced. You know what? Like, I know people are going to go, "Oh, well, it's just an insider. They don't know anything." I mean, this guy Tom Henderson seems pretty on the ball. He was the one that announced first that there would be a PS5 Slim that had a detachable drive, and he was 100% right. So, people could be reading too much into a social media post, but Henderson's reputation means that, obviously, people are going to kind of like come at it from this type of situation. So, we'll see what's happening. So, I hope that that's not the case with this anyway. Like, I don't know, it's like, basically, to me, if you don't come out with the Pro until 2025, you're already 5 years into the generation at that point. So, again, you're kind of like, that's basically, people wouldn't mind if you start talking about the next generation, not like a simple upgraded console or whatever. So, again, we'll see what happens long term with that. For me personally, I just tend to kind of look at this and go, okay, well, nothing's even been officially announced just yet. And, he's saying, maybe this thing might not even release. It's been pretty quiet about it. So, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm not the type of person to kind of freak out or anything. I was kind of looking forward to possibly picking one up, but I'm sure if they delay this thing, they have some kind of reason for it. And the reason could be nothing to really showcase it. If you don't show people why they need to go out and get this thing, then they probably won't go out and get it. So, that's really the main thing that I can say about that. Like for me personally, I got an Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro. I bought the PS4 Pro because, PSVR was a thing, and, it was something that I was wanting to experience a little bit better. So, hey, PS4 Pro right there, Xbox One X. I had bought a 4K TV. I wanted to experience true 4K, and I wasn't disappointed. I was disappointed in the first party output for sure, but I wasn't disappointed in, the console itself. Might be one of the most underrated consoles of all time. So, again, we'll see how this kind of comes out. But how do you guys feel about this, knowing that the PS5 Pro could be very well postponed or pushed into 2025? I mean, at that point, isn't it rumored that Microsoft's going to start the next generation a year later in 2026? So I don't know. Like, maybe Sony is rethinking some things. We'll see what happens. Very interesting stuff going on, though. Sony is unreasonably quiet, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what to make of that. Maybe you guys have kind of an idea. Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all rack them up. I hope you guys all have a great day. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. We'll catch you next time. Crap Gamer out.